It's 9 o'clock on Sunday night, so that means it's time for Poly Talk with Regal Love. I'm Eddie.
Tyra. Latonya.
And together we create the energy known as Regal Love, a full-functioning black triad who live here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We come here and try to discuss poly from the amorous perspective every week. In other words, we try to have open dialogue about how love brought us to this place. We want to thank everybody for being supportive of us not being here last week as we took the week off to celebrate my mom's birthday. So for everybody, please, one time for mom, shout out to moms, happy birthday mom. Tonight we're trying to get back into things, get back into the flow. We understand how this whole quarantine coronavirus thing is impacting everybody, and we want to just say to everybody, please make sure that you're safe. You're not taking any unnecessary unnecessary risks, and you're being as cautious as you can without being panicky. But again, we want to thank you guys for the continued support. If you guys are paying attention, we got a little new hardware. These are single colors. The logo and everything is still the same. I'm sorry, it does not translate very well on camera, but we're going to translate. Can you see it good? Oh, okay. I can't see it too good on this screen I'm looking at here. But it's us. Same logo, same message and everything. We're just doing a single color for this one. We're actually going to bring out several different models, and we're going to start pushing these around. Another addition, because things are growing, things are happening for us. Oh, y'all better stop playing with me. We looking something like official around here. Wait a minute. Y'all see it on both sides. Listen, folks, it's all because of the content support and the energy that you guys pour into us that made us feel comfortable to go this far, to start investing into things like this. Not only for us to have as representations for ourselves, but for us to share with you guys. So you guys have constantly been saying how y'all want to, buy in and be a part of the movement that we're trying to create. And we want to make sure that for any contributions or whatnot, that you get a quality product. So we're going to be taking a little time just to clean up some lines and smooth over some edges, just to make sure that we're bringing you what you deserve to have with our name on it. So look out for that, because that is coming up soon. Tonight we're gonna take it's a question that comes up a lot. We'll get to it in a minute. I'm just gonna put the topic out for those who wanna maybe prepare a question or two. The topic tonight is involuntary poly. Involuntary poly, by my definition, and please, as we constantly try to let it be known, we only speak from our position, from our perspective. And it is not to say that it's correct, but it is ours. So that's how we look at things. I know I do the lion's share of the talking, but behind closed doors. Well, maybe not behind closed doors, but away from the camera. The conversation flow between the ladies and myself is pretty much constant. So they just trust me to be the voice of our party. So
you formulated it into words.
Okay, I'm pretty good at talking. so that's how that works. We want to, for those who may be new, or during this quarantine, maybe somebody else has said to you, you know what, you need to check these guys out because they know what you're talking about. Hopefully that is the conversation everybody's having. We want to say that we have been together for a little, actually close to 4 years now. Recently married, the three of us. We all were married on October 19th last year. So technically we're still on the cusp of being newlyweds. This energy more or less created itself. Tyra is my core partner, and LaTonya is a love that I just could not ignore. And we've been growing and pulling together and just loving every day ever since. And it's been great. It's been great.
Yes, it has.
We do have something.
Involuntary poly.
Involuntary poly. That's what we're talking about tonight. My definition for involuntary poly is this. When you feel like polyamory is your only recourse. You have a mate who doesn't understand what it means to be faithful. And you understand that, you know what, I'm not going to be able to stop them, so let me change the narrative on this and make it so it's okay. So they understand that we can have this conversation. And it's not to say that the person who is making this concession isn't actually prepared for it. And that's my mistake for not being responsible enough to think that through when I started that sentence. No, because it can be as simple as the person says, you know what, so we don't have this problem later on. Let's have this conversation now. So, to be fair, if that is the reason you made the decision to be poly, then involuntary poly does fit your situation. Because I have been involved in non-monogamous relationships most of my adult life, I have always understood the benefit of being brutally honest with your partners. I have had a lot of people tell me that they didn't think what I wanted was possible. That I was foolish to think that I can have it with black women. Well, I look like a sister. I look like a sister, so I think I got what I wanted. But I think it took...
We all got what we wanted.
Oh, okay then. Okay then. But I think it took a little maturity. I think it took a little more being responsible. So I feel like I'm floundering right now.
It was, like you said, it was a maturity. It was a growth. You know, different mindset.
We're looking, per our usual disclaimer, we're looking to educate as much as anything. We do not come every week for entertainment value or for ego purposes, because as it has been said before, this is stressful. It is. It's stressful coming up with new content. It's stressful on our relationship because we make ourselves so public. And Tyra and Tonya, neither of them are very public people. But because I am, they supported my vision and they allow this to happen every week. And I have to explain how thankful I am for that. But before we get into the core of our topic tonight, we want to get some things that we generally get taken care of. We want to give our shout outs. And actually this week I have several. We definitely want to.
We're going to do a shout out roll call real quick. What's up, TT Cobb, Orlando Sims, Alice Muhammad, thank you for joining us.
Hey,
Sabrina
Auntie.
Bree Atkins, Deidre Stokes, Katva Anchor, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Alice Muhammad, Desiree Davis, Delana White Brown,
Hey, D.
E. Jasmine Kia, Samantha Burgess. If I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. I'm just trying to do a roll call real quick. Samantha Burgess, Sean Janados, Ansley Williams, Erica Hamadou, Henese, Misreal Love, Trey Flash, Keita Burnett, Walia Godchild Moore, Beverly Roberts Bonita, Nicole Williams, Kenya Aldane, Kevin Atkins, Tony Gilliason, Alana Prin, Kim Brown, Rhonda Patterson, Tylee Wilkinson,
Hey,
Tamika Harris Hornez, Talia Wright, Jennifer Kirkland, Keita Burnett, Craig Wittenberg, Monique X. Irwin, Kim Brown, Heather Brooks, Smiley Smith, Kenny Anthony,
Wow.
Johnson Johnny, Katrina Thompson,
Hey,
a
Trina.
little bit. Deetra Colvine, Jason Crockett. Did I say Lovey Smith? If I didn't, hello again, Lovey Smith.
Hey,
Laura
love.
Smith, LaWanda McKinnon, Ken Barnes, Morgan Red, Rachel Shaw, Black Cherry Doing Me,
Okay. then.
Yolanda Marie, DeAndre Malachi Miller L, Trey Williams, Lashir Rogers, and Dominic Brown. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Shout out to you all. I hope everyone is home and safe and enjoying your family at this time, because that's pretty much all we can do.
Right.
Finding some activities to do with each other and just keeping yourself healthy. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, that's great.
You're
Thank
all
you.
appreciated.
Yeah, what's that? I heard a lot of familiar names and a bunch of new ones, which is even better. Right? And we appreciate everybody that stopped in and check us out tonight.
Yes.
We're definitely going to make sure that we keep pushing, especially during these times, because we're in a position right now that information is going to be a premium. So we definitely want to make sure that we allow ourselves to be responsible with the information that we deliver. So because we have, for lack of a better word, a captive audience or a quarantine audience. Okay, it's too soon. Okay, I ain't gonna joke about that. Again, I want to make sure that we bring the best possible content that we can.
Right.
I did, again, I wanted to give a couple different personal shout outs this week. Of course, as always, shout out to our partner, UwebTV.com, for keeping us moving and keeping us relevant throughout the weeks. The partnership with this company has really been fruitful. As you see, the growth is happening, and we're making moves. We had to. Okay, I'll get to that.
Can't wait to see how much further it gets.
Yeah, definitely. I want to shout out to my guy, Hamza Moore. Happy birthday, big fella. I definitely wanted to get that out there for you, man, because you've been checking in with us all week, man. Your lovely family, man. Salute to you, man. We appreciate you. Happy birthday. I hope you're enjoying it and having the best day possible. There was somebody else that has a birthday today, and I am so sorry. I'm not thinking of who it is. But it's somebody important to me. But I will remember before the broadcast, and I'll make sure I get my shout out then. Shout out to Lucky 2Ks. We are still going to get together. We're going to finish that song. Lucky 2Ks is actually going to be helping us put together our own theme song. Polyamory. It's going to be a song about polyamory. So we actually did get. Does anybody remember the cat's name from New York that sent us the song? And I couldn't find it. I'm sorry. I'll get that information too. But Again, shout out to Lucky 2Ks. We're definitely gonna get together a little later this week and try to nail this thing down. Are you looking for something? Okay. All right.
Hashtag original love, hashtag regal love, hashtag love stylers.
Go ahead, everybody. Put it out there. Get it out there.
Hashtag love looks like this too.
Right. Which is one of my personal favorites.
Yes.
One of my personal favorites. Okay, let's get into it. Involuntary poly. Now, pay attention, folks. When I am speaking about things rooted in love, you'll hear me say polyamory. But when I'm speaking on things that I consider, one more time, my position, so please do not shoot me because it's how I feel. Things that I consider are more trendy and or a matter of convenience, I will label it poly. And I know that poly is, once again, a hot button topic, and everybody makes their own decision as to what poly means to them. But when you break it down, poly comes from the Greek word which means many. So that's what poly is about. In this particular phrasing that I'm using, poly, that's what I'm really focused on. I'm focused on the many, how people are opening their relationships to other people, not so much to love them, but to accommodate them into their lives to satisfy a problem or to
Or a personal need.
Yeah, or fill in a personal blank to whatever degree that is. Is that me or you?
It's on a more selfish aspect.
Right. Well, okay. I can see that. But what I was more speaking about was when the motivation is not to love the next person. The motivation is for financial assistance. Call it what it is, sexual assistance, to create a sense of security that doesn't exist already. Somebody to help around the house, to take care of things that you may not have time to take care of because your life is so busy in other ways. Again, I'm just giving examples as to the things that this guy, label poly. When I'm speaking about relationships generated from an emotional vantage point, that's when I'm speaking polyamory. That's when I'm talking polyamorous relationships. I was watching a young lady a few months back on a live, and she was explaining how English isn't her first language, but she speaks beautiful English. And she commented on how words mean what they mean, but people have accepted shortcuts to words. And that struck me. It struck me, and I've been trying to be a little more mindful of it. And I'm asking for those of you who do subscribe to the polyamorous lifestyle that you do the same. Be a little more mindful of, are you talking emotional or are you talking social? Social, I call poly. Emotional, I call polyamory. So now that I've made my particular guidelines straight, let's get to the part. We get a lot of people who inbox us and have asked in our lives on many occasions, how do I get my partner to get on board to this lifestyle? And our short, direct answer is you can't. Because it does have to be a personal choice with each party involved. You have certain character types that are a little more submissive, so they will just accept whatever you put in front of them. And that's okay for what it's worth. But from the vantage point where we sit in the universe, we're looking for equality. We're looking for as much input to build this thing to be as good as it can be from everybody involved. For as much as I have the lion's share of the experience in being in this lifestyle, lifestyle, and I know I have easy. Yeah, I have the most experience. I don't know everything. And they teach me something new every day because we are embarking on something new every day. The experiences that they have and the things that they learn and the things that they go through on a day-to-day basis are experiences and things that I don't see, that I don't touch, and then they bring it to me and they share it with me. I've always been a fan of information, so that's always important. But we're not talking about me. We're not talking about the healthier, but what we consider the healthier version of the lifestyle. We're talking about the rocky beginnings. You have a mate who won't stop seeing somebody else. But instead of them coming to you and saying, this person makes me feel something, they cheapen it and make it about the physical relationship. Oh, this person does me like this, or this person does this to me. I'm sorry. I'm a little more mature, and I just do not think, I don't see where sex can change the way you feel about another human being. I just don't see that. So I'm sorry if you agree that does work like that. I respect your position. I don't agree. I feel that let me wind this back and use me for an example. When Tonya came into my life, and Tyra knew all about her. Nothing happened. There was no exchange. There was nothing between me and Tonya before Tyra understood what was going on. Right. But let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, that's not the way it went. Now, I meet Tonya, and LaTonya just sparked me. Period. Nothing else to talk about. End of discussion. This woman made an immediate imprint on me. Now, had I been a different kind of guy? Yes. Had I been a different kind of guy, yeah, I'd have been on some extra creep thing, because I would definitely not wanted her to get away, but understanding how valuable and how much I appreciate her, man. I said it a few weeks ago, I was never good at cheating. So I done got caught.
And I don't like cheaters, so it wouldn't have worked out.
Okay then, listen to the queen. But like I said, it wouldn't have went the same. Matter of fact, let me slide over to you right quick. Mm-hmm. If I had got involved with Tonya, and I'm not saying sleeping with her or nothing like that, but let's just say me and her talked for a couple weeks, maybe went out, hung out a little bit, a time or two, and I brought that to you after I had already established a connection with her. How would you have felt about that?
That would give me a bad taste in my mouth when we would have met, as opposed to knowing from jump. Because I would have felt like you were already giving your energy away.
Ooh. So you did it the right way.
Right.
Well, what we consider the right way. Right. Well, there's different ways it can be done.
I'll take my 3 cool points for that. Yeah. But I just think it's important for us to really start identifying these things and stop being afraid to talk about them, because I know more than enough triads who did begin on some infidelity type thing. And then somewhere, somebody got brave and said, you know what? I'm not going to keep tearing myself in half like this. And I'm going to bring this together. I'm gonna stand in front of the firing squad. I'm gonna take whatever they say they have to say to me, and we're gonna wait till the smoke clears and see if we can make this thing work.
Why output your energy into different places when you can come
Consolidate.
together as one energy?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. I think that's how it actually works. If all the energies are just combined, you know, we met, we loved each other, and that was a wrap.
Good solid.
If he felt some type of way, like, but I mean, that's just how it works. We had our connection.
Oh man, I tell you.
I value you.
It's that I know.
That was a joke, y'all, because I feel like the connection needs to be all the way around in order for it to work, and that's my personal opinion. And we found that it worked very well for us, and I couldn't be happier. So, hey, it's my life. I love it.
I was asked by a really good friend of mine, how does it feel to say to somebody you love that you have feelings for somebody else? I thought that was kind of weird of a question, but then I had to apply the question to my life and say, you know what? That is scary. And it was. For as many people as have told us that we make this seem effortless, that this seems like it flows like water downhill.
It took a lot of hard conversations to get here.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And I like to say this. It's a personal thing for me. I would put my relationship in jeopardy for happiness. If I can't be the version of me that I'm comfortable being with you, then I'm not with the right person. I don't ask either of them to be anything that they don't want to be. I had mentioned earlier about me being more of a public person and them being more private. And I didn't ask them to do this. I told them this is something I wanted to do. And it was
I
my...
might have asked you.
Yeah, actually, you did, because we were talking about it with some people. Yeah, it sure was
Like,
you.
hey, you want to do it?
Yeah. But my intention really was to do this by myself. You know, I felt like my reputation was strong enough and people knew me well enough that I could get, you know, some ground support and keep going. But they both said, you know what? Yeah, I think we'll have a bigger impact if they seen that you actually are living what you're talking. I'm not a dictator, so I'm not a dictator, so
Listen.
That's true too. It's true too. I have to respect. I have to respect their power. But once again, folks, I am so sorry. I am getting off topic again because now I'm talking about us again.
So easy to do, unfortunately.
It is.
In this situation, unfortunately.
Okay. I know. I'm trying to tie it back together.
A couple examples of involuntary poly. I would say, you know, having your relationship that you're in, and then you decide you're going to step out and you're going to see this other person, and then later on, you, without them really knowing about each other, you try to bring them together all of a sudden, and they're finding out this is a whole thing here and a whole thing there. So imagine how that would make you feel.
Yeah.
Just all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, now I already have an impression of you, and I already have an impression of you.
Yeah, I can only imagine how that would feel.
I don't think the odds would be in your favor.
No. No,
That's my opinion, because
not big time. In your
like
favor.
you stated before,
Y'all see
there
that?
are a few
Y'all see
people
that?
out there that work for.
Oh,
But I'm not saying I believe it will make it work, because in my opinion, down the line, that could cause even more problems.
okay. By your statement, because you know me, I tear stuff apart so I can understand that. How would you keep a lid on that to begin with? Anybody in the chat might have an answer for that. Please answer that. How would you be able to keep a lid on that? Understand that your partner just brought you this whole other, to you, stranger, to them, very familiar person. How would you be able to keep a lid on that to explore putting these relationships together? I mean, again, I can only speak from experience that I've had, or I was at the very least closely connected to. This isn't an experience this isn't a situation I have a lot of experience in. I've always been very forthcoming. My brother, I had one of the best conversations in my life with my brother the other day. And he said to me, "You've always been you, no matter what. And for as much as we hated it when we was kids, we love it now because you've always been that same guy." And I thought that was like one of the best compliments I've ever got. But it made me understand that I've always lived my own truth, and I've never been afraid of it. So with that being the case, and I mean, you can check my history, and a whole lot of people that I've dated throughout my life do check in with these lives. You can ask any of them because they all have the same thing to say about me. He has always been like that. But to get back to the question, I'm trying to get some input from anybody who may have some experience on that side of things. So if you have something, if you have some experience about that, let's see you in the chat. And please do not take it that we're trying to get in your business or we're trying to put you on Front Street. That's not it. What it is we're trying to help educate each other. Mm-hmm. So please don't take it as a personal attack or somebody trying to come at you sideways. What it is just a request for information.
Candace Mitchell said, "I tried it and it didn't work out because they were dishonest with me."
Okay, but that is exactly what we're talking about. That type of dishonesty, there's a trust that you have to have for this lifestyle. You have to, because it stopped. What? It stopped being about the poly for me when I started to care. And I'm very, 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 very fortunate that I cared before anything. So I sound so sensitive when I in my head when I say this. But it's always been about love for me. That's something that it took me a long time to really connect to identify that much about myself. It's always been about love. Of course, like most men, like most people, I masked it behind sex, and that's what I kind of shaped everything behind sex. Because sex. That's why we love each other. No, there's too many people that I didn't have any sex with that I still love them. And I quantified it different because they were just different. Who knows? Stupid. You grow, you mature, you learn some different stuff. Oh, okay. I'm trying to get to this point. If you find yourself in a position where somebody else has sparked you, be responsible with that information. Because if you are, you can have it. If you have a Mara in your corner, pay attention, Mara, mature and responsible adult. If you have a Mara in your corner, they can gauge for themselves how this can impact them. And if they're fair and they're responsible, and you are fair and responsible with the way you behave, with the energy that you put out and all of these things, you can find yourself in the same position that I'm in right now. Because I made sure that I was fair and I was responsible. I didn't want to take advantage of somebody who just met me, new relationship energy. You know, she hadn't heard all my jokes already, and the way I flirt was brand new to her. So, yeah, she found me attractive. But let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, backing up a few ticks once again, that I wasn't fair and I wasn't responsible. And I sparked something in her, and I made her love me in a way that she thought was exclusive. She thought was just me and her. And then she finds out there's her. And I'm not leaving her. So now she is forced to either tear her own heart out of her chest or tear away her own fantasy for her life. That is not fair. That is not responsible. We're supposed to be, everybody that's watching right now, we don't have friends on our friends list under 18 years old. So I'm imagining that we are only speaking to adults at this point. So let me talk to some grown folks right now.
And hopefully they're mature and responsible adults. Mara.
Let's talk to the Maras out there.
Do we have any questions out there, guys? So far we have LaCara. We are taking questions now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, LaCara, I can't. LaCara Sadia Williams. Would the women have to start dating each other?
Not necessarily.
And then she says, like to learn more about each other, no experience.
Oh,
Are you
definitely.
saying you don't have any experience, or?
Yeah, I think so.
If I'm understanding that right, you mean dating as in social connections? Dating? Then yes, that would be a great thing, because that's basically you just got a girlfriend to hang out with. You know what I'm saying? That's your homie. So y'all just go kick it. You know, you learn more about her. You know, she take her to your favorite nail salon, and she take you to her beautician, and y'all learn some stuff about each other like that. You know, that happens. Hopefully that is actually what you meant.
You want to read Renee's?
Was it?
Renee Ford, I'm not that type. I'm not in that type.
I'm not in that type of relationship. However, I feel honesty is key. If you can't have communication, and not just communication, being open, honest, real, and loyal, mature conversation of who you are from the gate, no relationship, whether 2 or 3 or 90, will work.
Strong point, Renee. Very strong point. It was good to see you last week too.
Asma Moore, some dynamics require certain rules. You're in a more transparent dynamic. It suits you and your partners, so have, don't ask, don't tell.
Some have, don't
Some
ask.
have, don't ask, don't tell. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. And that don't, I guess it really depends on the kind of person you are. Don't ask, don't tell policy, it doesn't work for me. And it doesn't work for me because I am my own version of a control freak. I can tell my truth because it's the truth. I like to understand what I understand. I don't need every detail, but I just have to understand this is happening. You know, I don't want to look up and one of my people come running up on me talking like, yo, I just seen your girl down the street with this cat. And I don't know nothing about this. You know, then you got me looking crazy in front of my friends, and then I'm excitable and all of that other stuff. So yeah, not necessary.
Renee Ford, I know a man that is married who also has 3 other women, and they all know of each other. Mm-hmm. He's upfront and tells them, hey, my wife is first and y'all are second. And the wife and girlfriends are okay with it. Not my cup of tea, but the fact that they are open and honest, I can respect that. I can also respect that I just personally believe in there is no first and second. It's just
us.
It's just us. It's just us. We're equal. But I do respect others who feel differently about that, because I do know other people who do have that kind of dynamic.
Hierarchy, polyamory.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a different version of than ours.
We got here.
Morgan said something.
Hey, Morgan Red. Hi, honey. Honesty is a must, and respect my truth 100%
As me there.
as me theirs. You have to please everybody understand. Morgan has the thickest Jamaican accent in the universe, so she even types Jamaican. Honesty is a must, and respect me truth as me theirs. Me an open person, but me never deceive a person nor person's option of choice, nor do me one mind deceived. Okay, to translate, she always wants to be up front. And if she's going to be up front with you, she expects and respects you being up front with her. You give her what you want, and she'll give you what you want. Okay.
You got any more over there, baby?
No.
No?
Yeah, I can't see all of them right now.
Yeah.
It stopped at a certain point.
All right. Well, we'll get into more as we can. Show us pretty well. What's going on, brother?
Mitchell, I can't do a don't ask, don't tell. I have to at least know what I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Some exactlies, to each his own. Not our thing either. Equality is gold.
Yes. It's one of my favorite things about this particular dynamic that we're living in here, man. I'm so appreciative of the fact that I don't have to prioritize anybody over anybody. You know what I mean? If I tell Tyra something and I may forget that I didn't tell Tonya, I'm not going to catch hell because I didn't tell Tonya.
Chances are I told her.
Right. Because we communicate openly. We really do. I think it's a cornerstone of any relationship. And as everybody's speaking on right now, having the openness to have these conversations without being afraid. One more time, let's back up a little bit. Fearless communication. Being able to talk to your partner without limiting what you talk about. I want to be able to tell them my entire truth, no matter what that entire truth is. And understand that I'm not being judged to the negative. More than anything, they just want to understand me. And if they can understand me, they can respect me. And if they can respect me, then they can love me. And if they can love me, then we can live forever together. And that's exactly what we're working on now. That's why, for me, it is paramount for us to be able to sit down and have listen, man, when I tell you I want to put cameras up all over our house just so y'all can see the day-to-day conversations that go on. We really do just sit and we talk about a little bit of everything. Oh, wait. Okay. Something that I was thinking about earlier. For those who are already involved, I want you to pick your favorite memory. The memory that only means something to you, and give it to your mate. So you can give your mate another piece of you that they don't have. We get really, really comfortable in allowing our mates to have a working knowledge of us, and then that's it. We stop giving them those intimate details for them to truly understand us. The way we are always talking about, oh, he should know me better than that. How? You're changing every day. So every day you and him need to be having a whole nother conversation about the way you feel differently about this thing now that you didn't feel this way about this thing when y'all first got together.
The only way that works is if you're with an actual mind reader.
Right. Woo, she might have said something. Yeah, because we get so comfortable in the habit of being in the relationship that we stop relating to each other in the relationship. Listen, I've done that before, okay? I've done it before. I've been in relationships that I was just in the habit of being in relationships, and they lasted a long damn time. And for nothing. Think about it. I was married before. Great woman, just not right for me. I've been in several monogamous relationships. Most of them really good people. Not all of them, but most of them really good people. Just not right for me. I've been in other polyamorous relationships. And what happened in almost every one of them, we grew. And we started growing in different directions. And that's okay. That is perfectly fine.
Individual maturity.
Right. It's important. It's very important that you have those type of freeways of information with each other. I can't think of too many things about me that they don't know. My friends, and I mean Brian, Sean, Grady, Steve, Moose, all my friends, my real friends, the 30 plus years guys that I've been with, they can't tell them a story about me that they don't have some context of. And I've only been with Tom 3.5 going on 4 years. Me and Ty, we've been together 7. But even though I've been with these guys 30 years, I have spent the last 7 years talking to Tyra about the 41, 42 years before I knew her. Well, before she was an active part of my life. As most of you know, I have known Tyra since she was a little girl. I've known her since I was about 20 years old. So me and Tyra actually have almost 30 years of knowing. Right. But we but Tyra didn't have a frontline seat to my life back then. But I definitely made sure that once she became a true part of my life, that I made sure that she understood who she was involved with. The good, the bad, the ugly, the things that made me me. I wanted her to understand these things. So when I was in my funky moods and I didn't really want to be bothered, but my pride was stopping me from saying, you know what, now is not a good time. She could recognize that energy and say, you know what, yep, now I'm not going to bother with this cat. And I'll talk to him later. I did the same with Tom. When Tom first came, when she showed up into our lives, I swear I talked her to death because I understood it was the right formula to pour this information so she understood me better.
You were just catching up the information from the couple year difference.
Right.
So that everything from there on was new.
Right. So everybody, so when I start telling stories now, they're both hearing a new story.
Right.
Oh my goodness. All right. Do we got anything else?
I believe you said it right the first time when you said not our thing either. Equality is gold.
Yes.
You didn't have to change it to gold. You meant gold, but I think you said it right when you said it the first time. So
Yeah.
Agreed.
I understand what you meant, lady. Sean. No, that's not Sean. Morgan says she wants her mug. We got you, girl.
We got you, honey.
We gonna send y'all one straight away.
For all of our core people, hit us up, because Morgan, I definitely am gonna need you a little bit information again. Who else am I supposed? There's somebody else I'm supposed to be remembering.
Renee Ford said something.
Let's see what we got here. Renee Ford, it's funny a lot of people are unable to be open due to their past. It takes a strong-minded, open, understanding, and free thinker to understand it's okay to be you and them be them and to just love and accept each other for who they are. If you can't be you, then move on. You might have told the whole truth then, lady, because that's exactly how we feel.
For sharing that, Renee.
Appreciate that. We're definitely in the excuse me. We're definitely in the mindset to say we want to unlearn to relearn, because a lot of us and directly connected to Renee's point, a lot of us, because of what we experienced, what we were taught, what we were told was right before, we never waited for ourselves to figure out, is this right? I ain't trying to step on no toes, I'm just telling what I understand is the truth. When you make a decision about your religion, in most cases you are whatever religion you are because that's the religion that's around you. But did you take the time to figure out, is that right for you? I mean, it's just a question. I'm not trying to ruffle no feathers, but it's still a process that I don't think a lot of people take enough time to figure out for themselves. Is the thing that I am supporting, is it right for me? The information that I am repeating, is it something I actually believe? What I am, the way I'm living, does it make me happy? I've seen it, I've been in my own version of, I just went completely blank right there.
We got 2 minutes.
Oh, wow. Really?
Looks like our screen did too. Can y'all still see us?
Yeah, can anybody see us? Because we went dark.
But it's still counting.
All right. Yep. And you froze too. Well, we're not sure what happened there, but we're not going to worry about that little bit.
Right. Catch the rest Friday on UwebTV.
But
Yeah,
before
we'll
we go,
put that in there for them.
LaShawn DeSources says, I love and appreciate watching the journey of a more mature and seasoned triads.
Oh, thank you.
Mature and seasoned triad. She wasn't just pointing this out, but others as well. Thank you for following us on our journey, and hopefully you stay with us. And that, Wentworth, the topic tonight, well, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Topic tonight was involuntary poly. As we're wrapping up, sorry we couldn't get no questions from you, but maybe you can add some to the feed on Friday. You catch us on UwebTV.
Okay, I just remembered who that final shout out was for. The final shout out is for Tara from Rome Jazz Tara Polly. It is her birthday today, and we wanted to give you guys give her a shout out today. And I'm so sorry that slipped my mind earlier. I knew it was somebody close to me, and I knew it was something personal, and it was from one of our younger poly triads. And I see them putting a lot of good energy out there, and I respect those folks, man. So please make sure you send Rome Jazz Tara. Make sure you send them a happy birthday out there for her today. But it looks like we are going to go ahead and we're going to take this time and we're going to
wrap it up.
Go ahead and wrap it up, folks.
Hit our inbox for mugs and t-shirts. I see people already requesting colors and what they want, so we will get back to you all with that. So
No doubt.
Thanks for the love and thanks for representing when you get your merchandise.
Yeah, we'll definitely be pushing this stuff around in a very, very little while. Again, shout out to UwebTV.com, and we appreciate the partnership and helping us grow here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to give this
shout out to Black Poly Nation.
Oh, right. For those who don't know, we are going to be at the All Black Everything Conference, Black Poly Nation, May 29th, 30th, and 31st in Houston and Galveston, Texas. We're going to be there speaking.
I thought it was the 27th or the 26th.
No, it's
Memorial
Day
Day
weekend. The last weekend.
Memorial Day Memorial Day is the 25th. It's a Monday.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's always less.
Yeah, I can't get the
Memorial Day
weekend.
always falls on a Monday. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that, folks.
We're gonna get
So
you
it's the
correct
weekend
dates.
after Memorial
The
Day?
date is the 29th, 30th, and 31st.
Okay. 'Cause I'm
That's
like,
the,
those are the days I got.
I was under the impression that was Memorial Day weekend, so that's my fault. It's the last weekend in May, for fact.
Yes.
It's still going on. There has been no cancellation for it as of yet, and we are still making sure that we pour good positive energy towards that because we're trying to be there because we want to be in that energy with everybody too. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to sign off for tonight, folks. We really, really appreciate you for the support. Again, you're going to start seeing some different things from us, and we're just going to keep a tab on how everybody feels about us so we can start moving around here. We want to thank everybody for the support. We want to thank you for checking in with us. And
Cheers to you all.
cheers to you all. We are Regal Love. I'm Eddie.
Tyra, Latanya.
We love you and we mean it. And we wish you all the love we want for ourselves. Good night.
Good night.
Night.